The Black.Fat.Femme podcast is a production of iHeartRadio and DoctorJonPaul, LLC. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Black.Fat.Femme podcast where all the intersections of identity are celebrated. I am one of your hosts, John, also known as DoctorJonPaul. And this week I want to celebrate all the childless cat people out here in the world. Can I get an amen? Amen. Just anybody
Amen.
out there, just out there.
Meow meow.
So
meow,
can
meow,
I say
bro.
this and then we'll run. Someone said that we should refer to childless single people or childless people as free range adults. And I'm here for it. Free range. We are free range adults. And I said, you know what? That's what's up. I like that people are coming up with verbiage for us.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know, because for long they've just been like just single people or childless cat people, and like we deserve more than that. We actually we are more than that. So, you know, like you call us single, we call ourselves free. Like that's just how it goes, girl.
Yeah, I wipe
single,
my
free, untethered.
Yes.
Rich.
I wipe my tears with my Louis Vuitton bag. That's what I do. Oh God, it's so hard being single with no kids. Oh, it's so hard being childless. It's so hard. I'm gonna go order DoorDash. How are you, Joho?
Hi, screaming fam. What's good? It is your very Zamir, still very mindful co-host Jordan or Joho. And I'm here to let y'all know that trademarking someone else's work is nasty work, y'all, and devilish. John, did you hear? So Jules LeBron, who, okay, as you know, so for those who don't know, Jules LeBron, the girl who did the very mindful, very Zamir, was looking at trademarking very demure, which is challenging itself. Like trademarking words is not easy in the first place. But people have already begun filing the trademark already. Yeah. And so she's technically, she's like number 4 or 5 in line for consideration.
That's ridiculous.
For folks who are doing that, you are trapped. Like, part of me is like, yes, is it genius to know this will be something? So cashing on it. Right. But also, like, it's not your
not help the person.
No,
right?
help the person. Yeah. There was one person allegedly, they had trademarked it to protect her. They trademarked it, and then so that they will transfer it to her when she wants to trademark it. I'm like,
that's a lie, and they're looking for whatever way that they can to get money out of them. What I will say is this too. So I do what I have heard as of this week is that they did find a legal team that is helping them get to the top of that list for the trademark. So there is some. I'm hoping and praying that there's some good that comes out of it. And even if not, still at the end of the day, we know who they are and we know what she's doing. So,
I hate the law, but I love a legal team.
Right.
When someone says my legal team, bitch, it's such a bad bitch move. My legal team.
My lawyer.
Okay. That's a bad bitch right there. Yeah. Oh, my legal team handles.
Right. Well, speaking of bad bitches, we have an amazing bad bitch with us this week. And I can say that because I am their favorite baby and they are mine. This week, we have so when I tell you that I'm doing everything that I can not to fangirl because I've been the hugest and I continue to be the hugest fan of this person. They are a community. When I say, so I'll say this before I go into their true intro. We have a whole list of dream people and their name has been on this dream list and I kept moving it up, but like, can we reach out to them? Can we reach out to them? And when they finally said yes to being on the show, like my heart fluttered because I was like, oh my God, one of my dream guests are on this show. Not to say no one else is a dream guest because everybody who's been on the show, obviously.
You wanted this person for over a year. Like literally been a dream person. Yes. When they said yes, you popped off in the group chat. You say, y'all,
I've made it. I have made it. They are comedian, writer, host of the Amber Ruffin show on Peacock.
Okay, now.
Okay, you got to say the name, and just one of the sweetest people I have ever met. I will say when I met them back in February, it was like I literally had met a long lost friend. I literally just can't. Amber Ruffin, thank you so much for being here today. I'm just so happy.
You're welcome. I'm on mute now. I'm your problem.
Yes, come on down. How are you, baby?
I'm doing pretty cute.
Yes.
Everything's pretty fun over here, I gotta admit.
Yay.
I'm having a fun little time.
Little time.
It's cute over here.
Yes. I love it.
Nothing to be done about it.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, we're happy to have you. We are going
Hey.
to kick off our show in our first segment, like we always do every week for those who are new here. We always give Miss Tisha Campbell her flowers in our Still Here opening segment. And with that being said,
100%.
and with that being said, we wanted to take a moment to level set and get a little giggly before we begin the show. So this week, I'd love to ask y'all, how is humor helping you survive the current political climate?
Mm.
And I say that as somebody who just came from a city council meeting. For work, I had to go to a city council meeting today where they were voting on a flag ban, and how frustrating that meeting was because there were 6 white men up there talking about we respect inclusion and diversity, but we're not going to vote to allow people to fly LGBTQ and the yeah, Amber, I see your face. That's exactly what I was doing the entire time. You know how you look at the imaginary camera when certain
Yes.
certain people talk, and you just do that like, I know you lying. That's literally what the whole meeting was for me today. And so, all that to be said, one thing you can learn about me is I love to laugh. Comedy is truly one of the things that really, truly gets me through. I will say that outside of listening or watching shows like Amber Show, and following people like them, I listen to another podcast called I've Had It, and then another podcast called The Friend Zone, where literally all they do is laugh. I also listen to your podcast too, Amber. I love you and your sister. I think you are the two cutest and just most adorable people. And so I just think laughing is just in general, listening to podcasts and laughing along like I truly know people. That's really what has been holding me. But yeah, what has been holding you, sis?
Where are you that happened at your city council meeting?
I live in Riverside, California. Well, I live in Chino Hills, but it is Riverside County where that happened. But also, I'm shocked but not surprised
Yeah.
because I live in a pocket of Southern California that is extremely covertly racist. It's where the Prop 8 started back in 2008. It is
Oh,
where you like you. I'm surprised, but I'm not. You know what I mean? It's one of those
Yeah.
things you're like, wow, this sucks, but at the same time, you're like, of course, this would happen here. Huntington
oh,
Beach did the same thing a couple of months ago.
Mhm.
We see stuff like this in San Diego County. San Bernardino County refuses to acknowledge. I live in the city where the trans ban started. I don't know if you heard about it, but
no.
the outing policy that happened a couple of months ago, that were
Mhm,
happening all
mhm.
across the schools, if you've heard about it, where they were trying to out youth. I
Yeah.
live in the city where it actually started.
Oh
So, mhm,
no.
yep. So never
Oh
surprised.
no.
Oh, no.
Mhm.
A couple of months ago, a friend of our family, their daughter got outed at school,
Mm.
and we
Oof,
had to just show out.
Has
We
oof.
you
did
have to. You have
everything
to.
we could freaking do. We
Yeah.
were insane people, and I
Yeah.
was like, I have never thrown my weight around. I know I don't have any, but I was like, I'll
Do
tweet
you
about
know?
your ass.
He's a Do
I'll
you know
Y-
who I am?
yes.
I have
Let me get my phone real quick.
Hello.
400,000 followers are
You
gonna
gotta call the
murder.
lawyers.
Let me get
Let
my
me get my
tweet legal
lawyers.
team, okay? My legal
Mhm.
tweet team.
Yes.
I went
Yes.
on TV the next day to get interviewed for something on the Today Show and wore a pin that said "Protect Trans Children." I was like,
As you should.
"Watch my ass on
Yeah.
TV," and then I was like, "Are they going to ask me about this pin?" I hope they do.
So
So I
I
can
can just
say the
Absolutely.
open up the
first and last name of the school.
uh-huh.
It was wild, wild.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
what are you doing to keep your joy up?
You mean the opposite of what I just said? I don't know. No, I do goof
Mhm.
around quite a bit.
I appreciate that actually.
Like
Mhm.
cannot keep it together. Real silly, real sloppy, real goofy.
You
It's
have to.
pretty severe. I
Mm,
would say because now I'm on a show called Have I Got News for You on
Mhm.
CNN, and
Mhm.
all we do is goof around.
Yeah.
So it's really hard not to think of all of the horrible news through the lens of jokes.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, like, can you imagine the world without jokes and they said they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. What if just jokes didn't exist
Right, right.
and you
Yeah.
had to just breathe that in and then
Mhm.
live in the land where it was born? You'd
Mhm.
freaking lose it.
Yeah.
I
You
feel
would.
like that specifically, like, you can take time and look at it and fully understand how disgusting it is and how it will surely
Mm.
trickle all the way down to us.
Mhm.
But with that comedy in there, I was like, "Oh, thank goodness." We're
Yeah.
all, it feels like, okay, we're all in the same boat. We
Mhm.
all feel bad, and we all, are professional freaking comedians. My
Yeah.
god.
You've gotta
I
one
still got
thing.
a job, and that was so hilarious.
Right. The one thing about black people is we gonna laugh. No matter what,
Yeah.
no matter what happens, we are going to laugh, and I love that for us. But yeah, yeah,
I mean, truly some of the funniest stuff, and how is that always the way? Like, the
right.
worse the thing is, the funnier it is. The longer,
Mm.
Twitter will have you in a chokehold
Mhm.
scrolling through some "Call me Haitian the way I eat her cat" and shit.
Get
It's like,
off
that's the
my
funniest shit I've
line. I have not
heard of
seen
it.
that,
Like,
but that is funny. That is funny.
oh, that's hilarious.
Yes, and shout
Yeah.
out to my Haitian, shout out to the Haitian listeners. We love y'all, and we know that y'all are going through it, and we see you, and we definitely respect. Just I've been saying it for every Haitian person I know that I love that listens to the show. We see you, so we definitely want to say that. Um, what
Yeah,
about you, Joho? What about you?
I was just say like shit's just funny. It's shit's so bad that it's funny. Like I want to believe that I have a good sense of humor, and because I do use humor a lot to get through a lot of negative experiences and sadness. And
Same.
at first, I had wrote on the shelf like I honestly don't know if I personally feel humorous right now. Like I feel sometimes held in too much sadness to find
Mm.
humor, but then I also like recognize like maybe I just make the bad humorous. Like I think I'm very much in the space of when I'm with somebody and someone's like, "How are you?" And I'm like, I'm doing great. The world's a shit, but I'm doing great. The world's falling apart. And like, and we sit here in that like like
Yes,
of like uncomfortable laugh
yes,
of like we both know that shit is rough and but like we're okay. So like
yeah,
we're so close to crying. But also
yes.
like shit is so bad it's funny. Like when he said they're eating dogs and they're eating the cats, I was like, I can't help but laugh at this.
Can't.
Because like who says that? Like it's like I think like some people like for example like my mom's somebody who hones in on what he said and is like he's so dumb. He said like who says that? And
Right.
I'm like yes, but like who is like takes this debate and it's like, know what? Let me counter. Let my counter be they're eating cats and dogs. Like that's why it's funny to me. I'm like it's not funny because what he said is funny because of the reason why he was
How
like,
did you get
how
there?
did you get here? How did we get here? We're along the path where you like, you know what?
Right.
Let me deflect about myself and my politics and talk about cats and dogs. This will for sure get them.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
and like, I mean it but it's like it's so bad. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And I have to give it to those moderators. I have to give it to them because I know they were sick. I know they were sick of that man. I know they were sitting here like, Lord Jesus in heaven,
When
please.
one of the moderators corrects you on something that you said during an
The way
actual, the way she came with the fact, she's like, well,
wait,
actually, and I'm like, oh, she's
actually,
done.
not a single state has had this happen. But
Yeah.
continue. She's
Yeah.
with the quickness. I was like, and that's also funny. It's like it's so funny because he was right over his head. Right over his head. I
Mhm.
was like, you don't understand. She just ate you up, and you're like cats and dogs, bruh. What? What? Like, no, like
So
it's just
bad.
so funny. It's so
So
bad. It's
bad.
funny. So I'll just say I think humor helps me survive because like we won't survive without it. Um,
Yeah.
the world is horrible. Earth is ghetto. I want to leave. Like that literally is how I feel every day. And also like I can't help but laugh because this shit is just silly. Like it's so silly
It's so
in every
unserious.
way. It's like
It's
it's so
unserious.
unserious. Like be so for real. It's so unserious and
Yeah.
like you
I've
know
been all day today in all the like all my work text groups. I've been posting that meme of. Have you seen the meme? Amber and Joho of Janet Jackson holding her stuff. There's this meme of her holding like it's a folded jacket and like a book, and she looks ready to go. It's like, if I send this to you, I'm ready to get up out of here.
I'm
That is
screaming.
literally how I've been
I'm
feeling about just Earth. Like,
screaming.
please, somebody send something so I can get up out of here. But with that being said, one of the most awful things that we have to do is pay bills around here. So we're gonna laugh our way through paying all of the bills that we have to pay, and we're gonna take a break. And when we come back, we're gonna have more with the amazing Amber Ruffin. Chris, cue the music.
What's good, y'all? So this week for the Category Is segment, we could not have Amber on the show and not talk about comedy as a vehicle for social change and how Amber has used their platform to highlight social issues, specifically really tough ones, and use comedy as a way to navigate the complexities of intersectional challenges. So to kick us off today, Amber, I want to ask first, before we even begin, what motivated you to get into comedy? What was like, I'm going to do comedy?
Nothing motivated me to get into comedy. I did it because it was a paycheck and I love eating and paying rent.
Oh,
Okay,
It's my
keep it real.
favorite
listen,
thing
period.
to do.
We love a paycheck. We love a paycheck.
Yes.
That's real.
I
Mhm.
feel like when I lived in Omaha, I did theater a little bit and then I would go visit Chicago. Then when I visited Chicago, one of the owners of a theater was like, "If you move here, you will have a full-time job doing theater in no time."
You
And she was
said,
right, and I did. And I
say
haven't
less.
no.
Yes.
And
Shall
I
no
had a
look
real
back.
theater job this whole well, not theater, now it's TV, but like entertainment job this whole
Mm,
time, which has been
mhm,
pretty unbelievable. But she
mm.
was right. Thank goodness I listened to that lady.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're from Nebraska, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I knew that, but I was gonna ask, like, what made you go there? Like, what made you say, I'm gonna go ahead and leave Nebraska?
Nebraska made me do that.
Okay.
He said, have you been to Nebraska?
I've never been to
Nebraska
Nebraska, no.
Nebraska makes you want to leave all the time.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you were
But
just like, "I'm up outta
Nebraska
here."
is my sister and I wrote a book called You'll Never Believe What Happened to Lacey, Crazy Stories About Racism, about
Mhm,
all of the racist stories Lacey has from Omaha, and I mean, it's so many, and it's so funny,
mhm,
and it's a billion, there's a billion stories, but, like, when I left, that was, like, 20 some odd years ago.
mhm.
I mean, 10. Okay,
Hey.
right?
Right, right.
Uh, what was a million years ago? So it was probably, like, a bit a lot worse than it is now. I feel like
Mm.
Omaha is coming up
It
because there's
is, in
a
a
lot
lot of
of
ways.
people there
Mhm,
who like, I have a lot of friends who work for nonprofits, a lot of freaking social justice friends who are, like, TikTok famous, and I'm like,
yeah,
"This girl from Omaha, Nebraska."
yeah,
So, it's like
Omaha.
it's a very, like, there's room for you if you want to grow is there.
yeah.
And, the shock of the century is a lot of people in Omaha are like, "I don't know enough. Let me learn about everyone else." It's like, "Wow, I did
Wow.
not expect that." Yeah.
Neither would I, 'cause
They
so
really stepped up. Yeah.
yeah, we've had so friends to the show actually are from there. So Dominique Morgan is from Omaha,
Oh,
and
Dominique
then
Morgan, that's right.
yes, and
Mhm.
then we also have Dr. James Simmons, who is also from Omaha, Nebraska. And so, two really good friends and really close Judy's for not only just to the show, but to me personally too. So I've heard a lot of things. But I did want to ask you while we have you is really thinking about too this idea of comedy being rooted in political commentary. And I know that you do this a lot, which, like I said, which makes me love your show because it's like and I've been saying this a lot. I never thought of myself as a political girly until like the last maybe 6 months. I've been really getting into politics and really thinking about how you marry humor with politics. And so I want to know, like, what have you learned in being able to marry the two?
I have learned that it is, like, at Late Night Seth, it was necessary,
Yeah.
and you had to have um, a take on the things that have happened that day. But, like,
Mhm.
once that muscle is strong in your brain, and that's just how you ingest and then discuss the news, it clears up a lot of
Mhm.
dirt. Like,
Mhm.
it is like a filter that water goes through,
Yeah.
because when it comes in, you're trying to figure out the joke of it, and when you talk about it, you're talking about it in the joke of it.
Mhm.
You really, in order to do that,
Yeah.
you have to process it, and I think that that's really helped us, and, I think a lot of comedians have to be like, "Oh, I'm so messed up, blah, 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 my feelings, blah." But I do think we are some of the most emotionally healthy people because we
Mhm.
talk about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's I was gonna say too. I think to an extent, you really have to feel it in order to have the emotional response of comedy, right? So
Say
you have
that.
to be in it and so that's why I think even for me, and we've talked about this on the show, how a lot of people are like, ha 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 ha, you're queer and you're black and you're so funny. And it's like, well, bitch, I live a very fucked up life. Like, there's a lot of fucked up shit that happens to me over here
Yeah.
and all you can do is crack jokes around it. And so, like we said at the top, like that's really, I mean, if you're not, I mean, me and Joho, even before we get on the mic, sometimes we're cracking jokes about the really awful things we have to talk about. And I think that that's something that I feel a lot of comedians have to do. Like they have to learn how to feel the emotions around what they're feeling in order to be able to emit the comedy. So yeah, I love that.
It's also really interesting because I feel like I love comedy and I love watching a lot of folks in comedy, and I feel like many folks struggle with the marriage of like comedy and justice. Like I think,
Mm-hmm.
and it's interesting because I to me a lot of comedy is born out of like poking fun at social things, and like like it's born out like it is born out of like making light of something, and it's born out of making a statement. And I think a lot of people miss that. And there are people who someone's funny and good when they can take something and make it hilarious and also accessible for all people, right? There are some
Right.
comedians that are not funny, and they frame it as like, oh, like you must have a good sense of humor. I'm like, no, girl, you just are not
No,
funny.
you're mean.
Like you
You're
just are
being
not
mean.
like you're mean, or you're saying shit that is actually like really
Right.
problematic. And so I
Problematic.
guess
Yep.
one thing I'm always interested in is how comedians keep the funny while also like keeping the jabs good in a climate where everything feels so bleak. So like, how do you keep the funny, especially in a moment where you may want to be like, girl, fuck this shit.
I think "fuck this shit" is funny.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
yeah,
I
you're
do
right.
think
You're
that
right.
a big key to comedy is just telling the truth about what happened to you, and I think, like, when you're a funny person and you talk about what happened, like the other day, like, I feel like Roy Wood Jr. can be
Mhm.
like, "So I was walking my dog and I saw another dog, and I thought, 'What a cute little dog that is.' Then I was like, 'Let me just pay attention to my dog and go home.'" That's just those are the facts of the story, but then to hear
The
and that wasn't
delivery.
the story, but if he could just talk about
Right.
absolutely nothing and you're in tears, and
Yeah.
it's not because what happened to him is funny, it's just because he is the filter through which you hear it, and
Mhm.
he is willing to be so honest.
Yeah.
Like, you can find it where there are jokes in how hurt your feelings are
Mhm.
and how terrible politics
Mhm.
are. Like, there's jokes in there. There's jokes
Mhm.
everywhere as long as you're willing to, like, be very honest,
Mhm.
which, you you can't always be, but it's you
Yeah.
get there a
Mm.
lot.
You're speaking to something I've always said. I've had people tell me, John, you should do comedy, and I'm like, no. But what I have learned in being what I believe is someone who is funny,
Yeah.
is I've learned that there's a fine line between being funny, haha, and being mean. And I think that there are some people who don't know how to draw. They don't know how to draw the line. And I like with Roy. What I love about Roy is he's just himself, and I think that that's what makes this so when you know Roy, like, and again, I don't know him personally, but I know his comedy. And I
Mhm.
know by listening to him that I understand why it's like I'm this black man walking a dog. I see this other dog, and being a black man walking a dog, let me just mind my business and go home. Like it's so it's just
I
it
wish I
becomes
remembered what the story was, but it was so not unlike that.
yeah. it's very much in my mind. I don't know. I think you got to really know. You also got to know your clientele too. But I absolutely
And
love it.
also say I think there's a difference between like folks who are situationally funny and then like I'm like John. I feel like I'm somebody. Like, I feel like we're people who are situationally funny and we know how to tell
Yeah.
a good story and make it funny. But it's different than saying like come up with material to make
A
a joke.
set.
Like,
Yeah.
bitch, don't make me make a joke.
Couldn't
Like
be me.
if I was a comedian, it would just be stories about my life because that shit's funny and it's funny to me because I'm like this shit is just you can't make this shit up, so it's funny and like how you deliver it is funny. But like what because I often people are like, oh, you should do stand up. I'm like, no, girl. Like I'm only
Mm-mm.
funny in the moment. Don't have to do that because it'll ruin it.
Don't
Like
ask
don't
me
ask
to
me
recreate it.
because I can't do the magic again. The magic
Right.
is in the moment with me.
Yes.
It's funny in that moment, and so I see you on that. I see you, my sister. I see you.
Yeah. So one of the other things I did want to ask while you're here is really thinking about that there might be a lot of folks who probably kind of I'm just call it what it is. They hate watch your show and are not happy about how
Mm.
you speak truth to power. And I was wondering, like, what are some of the things that you do or have you learned in taking care of your gift as you offer it up to the world for us to have a giggle?
I really am very lucky. Like when I
Hmm.
had the show, when I had Amber Ruffin show, it was like a lot of it well, when I had the Amber Ruffin show, it was old by the time I had it. Like I'd made so many appearances on Late Night Seth, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
it wasn't I was in my 8th, ninth year,
Hmm.
7th, 8th, something year of being on a late night show. So
Hmm.
I wasn't like scrolling through things and trying to find that gross thing you sometimes do where you scroll until you find someone saying
Hmm.
something bad about
Mean,
you
but
and you go,
yeah,
ugh, then you put it down.
yeah.
Like, I had done all that years ago.
Hmm.
So I was like, let me just this is how I ingested what I did. I would go to whatever video I thought was the most dicey. This was for a Ruffin show.
Hmm.
And then I would go to the bottom, scroll all the way to the bottom because those are the mean comments. And I would read as many mean
Screaming.
comments as I could,
Yeah.
and I would scroll right back to the top and then read a bunch of good ones. And then I feel like, all right, I
There's a
did,
balance. There's a balance.
like
Yeah.
you do need to see like why does she have such bad posture, and like this is great. Like
What?
you can have both,
Yeah.
you know.
Duality. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Duality.
Duality.
But
Yes.
I
Yes.
do like I don't think it's good to just read the good ones. Like, I'd rather
Mm.
read none.
T.
Like, if I don't have the stomach to read the bad ones, then I don't read the good ones because
Yeah.
I'm trying to get better,
Hmm.
because I can always call if I want compliments, I can call my mommy,
T.
and so can you. If
Yeah.
you call her and
Hmm.
she'll be like, "My child, come here. Are you hungry? You're
Hmm.
so cute. That's why you're hungry.
Yeah.
You're working up an appetite, making everybody happy when they see you." Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's
I
where we're
feel
at.
it. I feel it. I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah.
I live.
Call this episode "Compliments from Mama."
Oh, no.
Oh,
That's so cute and sweet. Emma,
Yeah.
your energy is so lovely and loving. It's really just it's
thanks.
very, very, very lovely.
Joe, you want to know why that is?
Why? What? Yeah, I do. Tell me why.
Because I ain't got no kids.
Well, because you, yeah.
You're
She's
gonna be like
free.
this in
Cause
1
she's
minute.
free. Oh, 'cause she's
In
free, baby.
10 short years, you're gonna be this well, probably 20. You're gonna be just like
Screaming.
this.
I know that's right. I live for it. I live.
Part
I live.
like I often am like I'm like, oh, I want kids, and then I'm like,
Mm-mm.
but I
Don't do it to
see
yourself,
the
baby.
people who
Don't do it.
I really feel like I would find joy, but like I feel
No.
like I'd be one of those parents who like is absolutely independent of their kids. I'd be like, listen,
100%.
girl, you are 12 years old. I'm
Mhm.
gonna leave you at home.
Here, make this
You
steak. I'm
you got this.
leaving.
You got
Mhm.
this. You
Yeah.
got this.
Not
If
you
you
got this.
you got this. If you don't, call grandma or something. Like
She
I'm
has
gonna
it.
go.
Ridiculous.
I'm
She's
gonna take.
fine.
I'm so sorry. If you're 18, baby, you're at the house. I'm not. I'm not waiting for you. Like I don't know what you want from me. My job is to make sure, as my dad said, put a roof over your head and make sure you don't die. girl, I've done my job. You're good to go. Like, yeah, you're good to go. I don't know what you need
I
from me.
hate it
Like,
here.
that
We are
is really
gonna
how I
get
feel like.
so many tomatoes in the mail. People are gonna throw
No,
tomatoes
no,
at us
because
when they
I'm
see us.
saying what everyone else is thinking. Everyone else is like, no, this is the ideal that they
Well, also,
okay.
if you have friends that have kids that are your real good friends, they'll tell
Mhm.
you.
Oh,
They
no, yeah.
One of my friends is like, "Girl, you
absolutely,
dodged a bullet.
girl.
Yeah.
Congratulate yourself."
Yeah.
They're literally like,
I
don't
had that
do
happen
it.
this week. So I went to Disneyland this Sunday, and there's two stories because we have a pass, and so two of the story they're connected. I so I had saw a family getting on the bus, and they had this like very nifty stroller. It like broke down. It was really cool, and so I told the dad, I was like, "Wow, that's a really nifty stroller." He was like, "Yeah," and he was explaining it to me like he was trying to like sell it to me, and I very kindly looked at him and was like, I have no plans to ever get kids, but thank you for breaking it down to me. And so then as we were walking into the park, my husband looks at me and he goes, babe, why would you say that to him? Like that was low-key rude. And I was like, I don't think it's rude. I was just saying, you don't have to tell me everything about this stroller. I just said it's nifty. I'm telling you, I have no plans to have children. So thank you for telling me, but it's gonna go nowhere. And then and so then a lady turns and she looks at me and she goes, "Don't have kids. Don't have kids." Like, and her husband is pushing the stroller next to her. He is literally looking at this woman as she's drinking her frappuccino, inserting herself in our conversation, and she is so serious. She's going, "Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't have kids." And I'm going, wow, this lady is really serious about what, like, I don't know if it was a mistake to her or what, but yes, people are becoming more
There are
brazen to
parents
tell you.
there are parents who both very much hold the like I love my kids more than life itself and don't have kids. Like I think there are parents who like it's very real
Too
and
true.
like and two things be true at once and I love those people. That's
Yes.
how I feel I'll be. I'll be like I will kill for this child. And don't have kids, girl.
Don't do it.
I will kill for this child. I also don't have kids, girl. But anyway,
Yeah.
so my the question the last question I want to ask you, Amber, it's a bit different than what I put in the show flow. So sorry if you prepared something different because I was like, no, I'm just really curious about this. I know you came out or this year, officially came out or this year,
Wow.
like in a public way.
Wow.
And it looks like you've had a lot of amazing support, and I hope that's been true. The people
Yes.
have just been like loving you, and I'm curious to ask like, and I'm working on this question like in real time, so it's a bit of like a rough draft question, but I'm curious of how might have like being public in this new way, how might it shift or has it shifted the way you might do your work now?
Mhm.
Or maybe like like how are you growing alongside your work?
That's a great question. Well,
Mhm.
I don't really I haven't really found out. I haven't been out for very long. And I also have like I work very closely with Jenny Hagel and we do a bit on Late Night with Seth Meyers called Jokes Seth Can't Tell, where I just tell jokes about being black and Jenny tells jokes about being a lesbian. So I'm like, well, first of all, I've been writing lesbian jokes for 8
Mhm.
years and I am just now figuring this out. That's hilarious.
I'm like, oh, I should have known.
Yeah.
I'm like, a Subaru is a reliable vehicle.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. Mhm.
Anyway,
Mhm.
um,
Mhm.
but but
Yeah.
it I don't know yet. I feel like I'm working on a couple of things that explore it, but
Mhm.
we'll see, you know? I only came out because I thought, well, because not coming out felt like a lie,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
you know how this is a crazy analogy, and I'm so sorry to say it.
I'm
You know
ready. I'm
how
ready for
back
it.
in the day, black people some black people could pass,
Yeah.
and they just did, and there
Mhm.
was no they couldn't help it. They're just living.
Mhm.
I didn't want that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't wanna do that.
Mm,
Mm.
So, like, if coming out is the way we can avoid that, like, it did feel gross to be,
mm.
like,
Mm.
to not say,
Yeah.
"Hey, I'm likely
Mhm.
super gay." Let's just see how this unfolds.
Yeah. And see where it takes me. Yeah.
But, so
Mhm.
then after I came out, I was like, "Oh, now this feels very normal and very good." And
Mhm.
also, like, I had spent a billion years being like, if you're homophobic, you can eat shit. I'll punch you in the face now, on national television.
Right, right, right,
Or
right.
what? So there was never going to be anyone in any of my circles
Mhm.
who gave a toot.
Yeah,
So
because
it
they
was
already knew
probably,
you. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I love that.
I love that so much, Amber. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You, like I said, you're just such a bright light, and I appreciate you naming that too. I'm really really happy that folks have received you in such loving ways and loving arms, and I hope that they continue to do so because you are such an incredible person. On that note, y'all, we
I'll
gotta take
say
a
real
break.
quick, hold on, before
But
we take a break, and I'll say if you don't love my baby Amber, Imma punch you in the face. I will
Uh-oh.
find you and punch you in the
he
face.
says, "See
I'm
me with them
sorry.
hands.
Yes,
See me
I
with them
will. Sorry, I
They
just
hands."
wanna make
will,
sure
though.
that
I've
y'all know I'll
seen it.
go up for Amber, but go ahead, go
Listen,
ahead.
not a
Take us to
soaking
the break.
clock, okay? Not a soaking clock. So
Not a soap king clock.
not,
Not a
not a
soap king
soaking
clock.
clock.
Not a soap king clock. I hate it here.
I love it so much. Okay, y'all. Well, we
Silly.
gotta take a break to push the gay agenda a little bit more. When we come back, we will have more
Yeah.
fun with Amber.
Ambor.
Amber.
Ambor is here. Stay tuned. Do not
Amber.
displease Ambor.
More
Chris,
just.
play the music. All right, and we are black. So we wanted to keep things more silly and fun. Obviously, obviously category is that's where we're gonna get into the meat of the stuff. But we here in this segment, this is where we get foolish. And so for our what's on your plate segment this week. Okay, so I wanted to start off by saying that I have noticed that there has been a lot of food slander on my timeline. And it's not just Twitter. I see it on Threads and I also see it on the Instagrams where I see people posting pictures of food slander. And so I wanted to ask y'all for this week, what food slander are you tired of seeing and hearing? And what I'm talking about is we know everybody hates candy corn. I know we've talked about it multitudes of times on this show. I already know people to have a whole bunch of Joho, rude.
Is this inspired by what I sent you?
No,
Okay.
it's not. It's inspired by a post that I saw of a person going off about Caesar salad and talking about talking
What?
about her disdain for Caesar salad. And I don't know where the post is. I
No.
just saw it in passing. But I was like, what did a Caesar? I think she basically was like, someone had said, you know how that whole thing is like, I know such and such hates to see me coming. And so
Yeah.
someone had said, I know a Caesar salad hates to see me coming. And she was basically saying, well, Caesar salad needs to go be put in the trash. And then the same thing happened for Raising Cane. Like people were just going on this long thread about all the food slander. And I'm like, wait, all of this stuff is really good. And what are people talking about? So I wanted to ask us this week, what food slander are we tired of people talking about? And for me, I'm gonna go further and say it's not just candy corn that I'm tired of getting a bad rap, but I am tired of people, black people. I'm tired of y'all talking about pumpkin and y'all trying to make me feel bad for liking pumpkin. I enjoy pumpkin spice. I like to be basic and skip throughout the meadows and drink pumpkin spice things. It's tasty. And then there's some of them got the pumpkin chives, and the pumpkin chives is nice. It's really nice. And I'm just tired of y'all throwing darts at me for that. And the same thing, I have a friend who works in production, and every time that he does or he goes to Crafty, he'll send me a picture of a pizza with pineapple on it, and he'll say, "This is your fault." And I'm like, "What did I do?" I'm like, "I didn't even do anything, PJ. That's rude." So yes, I'm just really tired of pineapple getting a bad rap on pizza, and I'm really tired of y'all coming for pumpkin spice when she didn't even do anything to us. Amber, what food slander are you tired of?
First of all, I am not a hater in any way, except this way. I'll talk trash about everything I have ever seen anyone eat. I love it. It's my favorite thing to do because ultimately it couldn't matter less because, people's taste buds are different,
T T, yes,
boo.
yeah.
But at the same time, if you like Caesar salad, you a dang fool.
I
Are you
just
not a Caesar salad
I
person?
love I love to be 10 toes down for something that couldn't matter less. This is
stop.
where I shine.
Okay.
So, Caesar salad, the dressing is just fish put in a blender. And that's disgusting. The thought. It's just fish put in a blender.
Blended fish. Yes.
That's it. That's all there.
Yeah.
That's gross, and human beings shouldn't have to eat that. I don't care who finds out I said this. I don't care if Julius Caesar comes back to life. I'll stab him in the back again because his salad
Stop.
is trash.
Nasty.
Do it again.
Having said that, that wasn't really what we were talking about. But that lady is right, and I will fight for her.
I will
I
fight for her.
I will. I also
Sweet.
think Raising Cane's is not great.
It's
Now,
wet
will I
chicken,
eat it?
yes.
100%.
Same.
I
If you
can't act
bring
like I
raisin,
wouldn't eat it.
right? If you bring it, I'ma eat it, right?
Yeah, I'm
But
gonna eat it.
but I'm not
You're
gonna.
hungry.
I'm not gonna pass up a Zaxby's for Raising Cane.
I don't know what Zaxby's is, but I want
Zaxby's
it.
is
Who?
Southern. So if I travel for work and stuff, and when you go out into like North Carolinas and you start getting into like the southern parts
Right.
of the country, Zaxby's is like it's like Zaxby's and Raising Cane's. They're like cousins. They have the same menu and they have the same idea. They're just different. The taste and the ingredients are different. But Zaxby's is better than Raising
So
Cane's
then
in my opinion.
Zaxby's has taste, is what I'm
Yes.
Oh.
hearing you say.
Yes, and their chicken is not wet. I find that Raising Cane's chicken is always
Why it
wet.
gotta be wet?
It's like
I have a lot of problems with every food everyone eats.
it's moist often. The chicken tenders are moist.
So
Am
moist.
I
Why is it
wrong?
wet?
Like, has anyone?
Is that wrong to be moist? Do you prefer a dry
No,
chicken
it's
tender?
like the
It's gotta be wet
breading is
on the
moist.
inside. Yeah, the juiciness done crept to the outside. Where I was expecting crispy, it's now soggy, and
It's
that's a
that
problem.
is a problem. It's
Sweetie,
moist. It's moist
what?
chicken tenders.
Now,
Yes.
having
Oh,
talked trash
okay.
about every food I've ever heard, I love Taco Bell and would eat there every day till I died.
Oh,
And it would be pretty
same,
quick because I
same.
ate Taco Bell every day.
Yeah,
So,
Taco Hell will give it
Is
to you.
is there a
love it.
slander that you have experienced so yourself? That
Yes,
not when you've committed, but that you've experienced.
He committed.
every time someone says something bad about the Cheesecake Factory, I plot their death. And then I pray to Saint Vanilla Bean,
You
God of
Shit.
cheesecakes, that they are
see
struck down.
me. See me. I feel so seen in this moment.
How dare you act like
Oh,
Cheesecake Factory the best
it
Sweetie.
is
food you
so
ever ate?
tasty.
It
Sweetie.
tastes fantastic. And if you don't like what you just ate, try one of the other 800 things I already eat in this mug.
Yeah.
You love it. You just didn't eat the right thing yet.
You love to hate
Also,
it because you
stay
love it.
home.
Yeah, you
More for
can.
me.
Or go to somewhere else. There's multitudes of other places you can go.
Go
But
to
you-
Raising Cane's. You hate
Yes.
flavor so much.
Go there and eat some wet chicken. Yes.
I feel,
Absolutely.
I feel like Cheesecake Factory is like the "I'm That Girl" by Beyonce of restaurants. Like
Yes.
they hate me because
Mhm.
they want
Because
me.
they want me.
That's okay.
You're mad that you have no cheesecake after your meal. And that's why you're
They're
upset.
just mad. They're just mad. So okay, Amber, I'm glad you talk about Taco Bell because I
Yes.
hate when people come for Taco Bell. Like
I don't-
people come for Taco Bell, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but all you burger bitches have nothing to say about my bean burrito
Not
or
burger bitches.
my potato chalupa supreme sister. Like y'all talking mess about Taco Bell like it's subpar, and it is a lie. Y'all have not lived Moss, and it fucking shows.
Yep.
Okay, it
Yep.
fucking shows. You have
Mhm.
no, you little twisted ass, gross ass little burger bun people, little nasty mid chicken assholes could never wrap herself in a mission tortilla
Could
like Taco
never.
Bell does.
Could
Okay,
never.
y'all hating for no reason. Also,
Yep.
That's right.
pumpkin spice, pumpkin spice. I'm trying to think of like some like alliteration, but like I don't know, like pumpkin spice haters, whatever. Y'all, eat glass, kick rocks. There's no way. There's
Eat
no
glass.
way. Pumpkin spice is amazing.
Is that girl.
It is not
Period.
Bastique. It is not Bastique. If you, I just bought last night a jar of my favorite and famous pumpkin butter from Trader Joe's.
Amen.
If you don't like this shit,
Amen.
you are wrong. You are not. You don't like fall. That what else represents a season? You might as well say you hate fall, and that's
I
dumb
know that's
because
right.
no one hates fall. It is frolicking season. It is cuffing season. Everyone loves fall. Do not even try
Do
out like
we?
you hate fall.
Can I ask? Do we feel the same way about apple crisp? Because apple crisp is also a fall thing, right?
The
Okay,
cereal?
you are
No,
not
Crisp.
wrong.
like
You are not wrong.
how? Because I think the
But
the
apples are year round. Like apples are year round. It's apple season in the fall. But an apple crisp is a fall
apples
thing.
year round.
Oh, apple crisp.
But not the same. But not the same way that pumpkin is. Apple crisp. Ap- mm, I'm so sorry I said it. Apple crisp is the Taylor Swift, and pumpkin is the Beyonce. That's how I feel.
Okay,
That's how I
okay,
feel.
okay, okay.
That's
I
just
rock with it. I get it.
yeah, I don't make the rules. I just talk about them, and that's how it is. Like I'm sorry to those people, but
I don't make the rules.
pumpkin spice hates to see me coming. Apple
T.
Chris loves to see me coming because I'm like whatever, girl.
Every
And
once in a while,
again, it's in front of me. I'll have it now.
right?
A crumble. I love a crumble as well too. It's just pumpkin is only seasonal. Like why do you hate a season? It's just nasty. My last thing is people who commit to hitting ranch. Don't even go
Yeah,
touch grass. Don't even
Ooh.
go touch grass. Like
Give me their
yeah.
address.
that is, I'm saying, like more ranch on everything, please. I put ranch on
I have a
everything.
friend who won't do anything white. She won't do ranch. She won't do mayo. She doesn't do sour cream. She just won't. She's like, absolutely not. I refuse to
Is
do any
that
of it.
White as in like white
for
inventions, white
taste
as in reminds her of
reasons
white
or
people. Like yeah,
yeah,
She
like
just,
is that a statement?
I think T. I think
okay.
from what I understand, and I won't name them because I know they listen to the show. I, from what I remember, and they may want to correct me, I think when they were younger, they had something. It was an egg. They said they ate an egg when they were a kid,
I love egg
and
white.
it scorned the white of the egg. They said it wasn't done well, and it ruined them. They said so
Okay,
anything with like a white texture,
I
they said they
have to
can't do
say,
it.
uh, this is so bad to say because I'm a pretty empathetic person in my life. Like the listeners know I am. John's always says I am, but I don't have empathy for people who have the most like wild like distaste of things. Like there are people that I love in my life who I love so much,
I hate it
but they
here.
get mad if their food touches, and I'm like I'm sorry, but I don't have. There's no bone in my body that's like, oh,
I
I
feel
feel
for
for
you.
you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No bone in my body says that. My bone's like, you crazy bitch. Like you not sorry. You wild bitch. You wild bitch. What? Your
Yeah.
shit, your things can't touch. My sister, I love my sister so much. I'm so sorry she hears this. She hates onions. If that girl sees an onion anywhere near her shit, she will not eat it. And
She
I'm like,
loses it.
girl,
See,
Yeah.
I'm a more onions girl. Are
give me
you
more
like
onions. Grilled
onions?
I
onions,
know.
raw onions, saute onions,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
onion
have to have.
rings, bitch.
I
I
tell
will
the lady at Subway, baby, you got to put. You know how they're so demure about putting the onions on your sandwich,
I
and I said,
want
baby, that's not
girl,
enough.
I want onion breath, okay? I want
Yes,
this to
I
be
need
like,
the
"Ooh, what's
onions to
that?"
be on my hands when I'm done
I'm trying to
eating.
repel vampires, bitch. I'm trying
Hello.
Yeah.
okay, like, people but I'm like, "You won't eat the onions?" Like, what, girl? I don't understand, and
Yeah.
I also I commit to shitting people for slandering people for their food
Yeah.
choices.
It's fun.
Like,
It's very fun.
I commit to because it's fun and funny because also has no effect on my life whatsoever, but I also am like but I'm also like,
Yeah, she stays on my head
like,
about some of
at
the
least,
places I
like,
like.
listen because
Almost 10
because
years of friendship, and you still ain't
make
let
it
me.
make sense.
I
Make
can't.
it make sense,
I'm
okay?
and
Like,
and it never will. And it never will. I'm just
but it's all love. It's all love.
I know it's love, and I love that for us. But with that being said, we are gonna take a break. We let me restate
No,
that.
I got you doing it.
All right.
Okay?
So anyway, with that, we're gonna take a break to live Moss, and when we come
Yeah,
back, we
yeah.
are going to come back with our favorite segment, Yes Ma'am and No Ma'am Pam. More in a second. All right, y'all. So this week we are going to start off our yes ma'am and our no ma'am Pam by really just talking about all things politics, pretty much everything that's coming up right now in our yes ma'ams and our no ma'am Pams is politics. And again, we have Amber here with us, and so why not? This week I wanted to say shout out to my yes ma'am. I'll say that my yes ma'am this week is Kamala. Kamala, this is her first time having the best polls that she has had since she's announced that she is going to be president, right? And so I just that for me is a. I also want to say too, in regards to Kamala, is a friend of mine who I follow on Facebook said that they live in a very, very, very red state, and they said even in 2020 they saw a lot of Trump signs in their front yards of the housing development where they live. They said they went outside last week and they said they were taken aback because they said, I've never seen so many Kamala like Democrat signs. Wow. They said there are so many Democrat signs in this area. He basically said, he was like, I feel like I live in the wrong place because I'm seeing Harris walls, flags. I'm seeing signage. He's like people are canvassing. He was like, it really, he says it just feels like a very new energy around what. And so I say this, I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful that what we're hearing and what we're seeing in the next 40 some odd days is really going to translate to us having the first Black woman president. And I pray that also with all of the other stuff, and I'm not going to go too deep into that because I truly don't. How do I say this? Yvette Nicole Brown said it better than I could have ever. JD Vance a couple of weeks ago said, well, guns are just a part of life and we kind of just have to deal with it. So do with that information what you may. I just pray that Kamala and her husband and everyone around her is protected and continues to be protected. And I'm just really happy for her and really happy for the folks that are on her team. Now, my no man Pam, somewhat political, but not. I'm going to always be fuck the police. Everybody knows that about me. I'm very fuck law enforcement. I will always be fuck 12. I will always be a cab. But I am also very happy when the police catch up with the people who need to be policed. And what I do want to say is that I am very, very happy that Diddy is getting his comeuppance, because I know people personally who have been impacted by some of the stuff that has happened on Bad Boy. But I also know people who know people who know people who have been impacted by stuff that has happened with Bad Boy. So to say that it's kind of a yes, ma'am, in the sense of, yes, I'm finally happy that Diddy is getting what he has done to so many people back to him. And it's not to say that I'm happy to see because I keep seeing that. Yeah, you're happy a Black man's going to jail. No, I'm happy that someone who has assaulted people and has hurt people is finally being held accountable for the hurt that he has caused. That's what I'm happy about. What I will say is that there are a lot of people who are looking for ways to excuse Diddy and people like Diddy. And I think it is, and I know that's a whole conversation in itself. We've talked about it with R. Kelly. We've talked about it with the gentleman. What's his name? The gentleman who shot Meg Thee Stallion. Tory Lanez. We've had this conversation over and over and over again. I don't know why we continue to keep trying to make excuses for specifically Black men who harm Black women or harm other Black people. So I'm just very happy to say that I see people getting what they deserve in a good way, meaning people are finally being held accountable for the harm that they've caused. And so that's for me where both my yes ma'am and my no ma'am Pam lives. But anyway, for you, Amber, do you have any yes ma'ams or no ma'am Pams this week?
My no ma'am Pam.
Okay.
Is when people say, okay, so we all saw the debate and we saw Trump friggin' shit the bed, basically.
Yes.
He messed up in an immeasurable way.
Right.
You could argue that this lost him the election.
Mm-hmm.
And he's flailing, he's drowning, he's losing in real time.
Yeah.
Next to him is a Black woman doing a murder. She's destroying this man in every single way. She's excelling at exactly what she came here to do.
Mm-hmm.
She debated like no one has ever debated before.
Yes.
She done debate. It was
She
fantastic.
done the bet.
She
And
debate.
then
Yes, she
The bet.
debate.
she done did that
That
debate.
is the bet
Yeah.
is.
That debate is done. So she was great. Then people who need to have an opinion were
Yeah.
like, well, you know what? She didn't lay out any of her policy. And yeah, it was great, but what about her policy?
Uh-huh.
Bitch, that's not what this is. This is a debate. You do not lay out your policy.
Right.
Because guess what? When Elizabeth Warren did it years ago, y'all were like, well, she's just like, my policy. I have a plan for that. I have a plan for that. And they made fun of her
Right.
because she laid out too much of her plan.
Right.
Also,
Right.
that's not the name of the game, folks. We're not out here to tell everybody our first, second, and third move because we're trying to get voters. And
Right.
you alienate voters when you say exactly blah blah blah. That's gross, but this is politics.
Mhm.
So she got there. She did exactly what she was supposed to do. She murdered, and people still ain't nobody saying Trump was bananas. Everything he did was trash. No one's saying that. People are saying, "Well, she didn't lay out any policy, so I don't know if I." Bitch, Google it.
Yeah.
Fucking Google it. It's there. Why she got to get up here and then read to you her
Right. Right.
Wikipedia?
Hello. Hello. Say it.
Oh, you
And
need
we
to
know
see
why
Trump
they're
in
doing
like
that. We know why they're doing it. We know why they're doing it. It's a black woman who's very, 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 very smart. And
because I tell you what, if she had been a white man, they'd have been like, "Well, we finally did it. We
yep,
finally
we won.
understand how you win debates."
Yep.
Fuck,
Hmm.
that made me unreasonably mad.
Oh, I hear you. I hear you. And it's the same thing. Every time people critique and if you listen to any of our old shows, you'll hear me going off through and through and through about how much I love Kamala just as a person and her talent. Policy aside, right? Like politics aside, I know that there, like I've been saying this, I know that there is stuff that people critique Kamala on, and it's all valid. For me, I just love that she is in her bag. She is so pristine at what she does, and it just makes me like her. Like I find her to be a very like I don't know. She just the way she carries herself, how human she is, how I could go for hours talking about how much I love that woman, and they only critique her because she's good at what she does. She is good at what she does. Because, like you said, if it was a white man, people would be eating it up. We don't even need to vote. We can vote now. Everybody, people would be going to the ballot box tomorrow if Biden came in the way that she would have come in at that debate.
That's
People
right.
would have been ready to vote for him in a second. So
Fell out. They'd have fell out.
mhm.
It's
So
also
then
it's
they
also like really. Oh, sorry. So
No,
go ahead.
go ahead.
I just say it's also like strategic to not lay out your policy plans so early because then like the people who are gonna be who are when you're running for House and Senate are gonna be like block that shit as soon as you get
Yep.
in, girl.
Yep.
And
Yep.
like you gotta hold your cards to your chest, y'all. Like I I
And no
have
one
it,
does that. She didn't invent not laying out your
I
policy.
I'm like I have my thoughts on Kamala for sure, and like I can't pretend like at the end of the day, this is a political game. And
Right.
like, do I love the game? No, I hate the game. Do I wish we could
See.
abolish the game? Sure. But right now we can't abolish the game. So I can't be mad that you're playing the game the way she should be playing and playing it well. Like she's
Right.
doing the good the myth thing is playing chess and boys shame checkers. Like
Yes.
she is out here playing chess.
Nah, baby,
Give it
mama
to her.
over here playing shoots
She
and
playing
ladders.
okay.
They like
He
the
said shoot
right
the
is playing shoots and ladders at this point, and I'm looking over at them being like, y'all about to lose this game of chess, girl. Y'all
Right
about to
is.
lose. So I'm here
Yeah.
for it. But
So
what
yeah.
do you have any yes, ma'ams?
Now, you said yes, I do. First of all, you said fuck 12. So that reminds me. Earlier in the summer, I want to say, I went to Minneapolis where my
Mhm.
sister Angie lives,
Mm-hmm.
and we went to George Floyd Square. Now,
Mm.
I don't know if you guys have heard this, but George Floyd Square is now might be called Rise and Remember.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, it's still called George Floyd Square, I believe, and it's the square where George Floyd was murdered. And the people have taken it back, and they've just I don't even know how to explain it. They've built kind of a giant memorial
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
to him, and there are there is a kind of a art installation slash graveyard of all of the people who have been murdered by the cops. There's several art installations to that tune. They have been uh, keeping track of all of the offerings to the site of his murder.
Yeah.
They have taken over a gas station
Mm.
and put a giant black power fist in the middle of the street.
I'm looking at that now. Yeah.
It's the most it's the best feeling I've ever felt, was being there and
Mm.
being like, oh my god. And we got led through by a woman who, and these people went through it. Like, the cops, after they murdered George Floyd, were in that neighborhood going buck
Yeah,
wild.
I
Almost
believe
so
it.
that
Yeah.
these people are like, well, fuck all y'all. This belongs to us now. And the cops don't go in there. They don't be doing shit.
Yeah.
They don't come around there. And when we were in
Mhm.
there was me, my sister, our friend, the lady who's taking us around, a man tending to the garden, a guy pushing a stroller, and then two like teenagers. These are the people I can see. It's 8 in the morning. The
Mhm.
cops drive by. The woman who's leading us around yells, 9, 10, 11. Everybody, all of those disparate people, none of us are there together. Everyone shouts, fuck 12.
I love it. Oh, I live. Yes.
Best fucking feeling.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
Yes.
May, I want to say, I'm not sure. This summer coming up, not the one we're in, but the next one,
Mhm.
is the 5-year anniversary of the George Floyd murder, and there's gonna be like to people really talking, community. Oh my gosh, that's the thing there is there. Every morning at 8 o'clock and every night at 7, I think those times are right. They meet, and the community meets to see what the community needs. There's clothes. There's like
Wow.
someone giving haircuts. I want to say something like that.
Wow.
And they just get together and go, "What do you need? What can I do for you?"
Wow.
They've met every day and night since the murder. Every,
Wow.
and
Wow.
someone leads the meeting, and it's just community. And I was like, I want to be here. I want. I've never felt like that in my entire
Mhm.
life. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, and I will definitely be going there.
Again,
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
for the 5-year meeting.
Mm,
It
yeah.
was unbelievable. Google it.
Yeah, I'm
Bring
on
it.
the site now, and so we'll put for those who may not be aware, like myself, I genuinely did not know this existed. And it's also kind of alarming. It wasn't even alarming. It tracks. It's frustrating to me that like we're not seeing coverage on this. We're not seeing more people talking about
Mm.
the community, because that's basically what it is. It's and I learned about this a couple of months ago myself about certain parts of New Orleans and Louisiana. They have basically they've in so many ways told the police stay away from here,
Yeah,
and
Mm.
we'll take care of ourselves. And so we're
that's
seeing a
right.
lot more black communities do this. And so I wish there was more coverage, and I wish there was more information on this. But I love that you mentioned this. And for folks who are interested in going, or for folks who would love to learn more about this, like I said, I'll put the link in our show description, so that way folks can go and learn more about it. But as I'm looking at all these photos and I'm looking at a lot of this information, it blows my mind that I don't know about this. So I thank you for mentioning it. Yeah,
It's fantastic.
yeah,
It's
I love it.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yes, I love it.
So that's my yes, ma'am. Yes,
I know
ma'am.
that's right. Yes, you had a good one, honey.
Mhm.
Thank
Good
you for
one.
teaching the children. You taught
Oh,
us to
my
school, honey. You
babies.
got to teach the children now. Joho, what are your yes ma'am and no ma'ams for this week?
I'm looking at this. I'm like, wow, it
Same.
makes me want to visit Minneapolis just for this reason. So
Got
thank
to.
you so much, Amber, for sharing this with us. My
You're
yes,
welcome, sir.
ma'am.
That's real, but keep going.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
come on, Angie. Thanks, Angie. Shout out to
Yes, come
Angie.
on, Angie. Come on down.
My yes, ma'am, this week is just to white dramas. I love me a white drama. It's so amazing to see white mess, It's amazing to see white hysteria. It's
Yeah.
amazing to see white fragility. Like a white drama. I just started watching the Perfect Couple with Nicole Kidman, queen of white
Mama
dramas.
X. Yeah.
Mama can act.
She is
When it comes
one
to
thing
white
she's
dramas,
gonna do
Miss
is
Thing,
the white mess. You call Nicole
her
Kidman, she is coming
form,
with that wig,
her
and
form.
she is going to act.
And sometimes I don't know if she recognizes, like, I'm sure she, like, objectively she's also a good actress for
Hey,
sure,
yeah,
but I
yeah,
don't know if she recognizes that, like how perfect she is for white mess.
yeah.
Like
Ah,
I watch her for the white, like when I saw Nine Perfect Strangers, I said,
oh
"Mom,
yes, another
Mama can,"
show where Mama came.
and
She
she, girl,
even the drama she brought for that AMC ad that she did. We come
yeah,
to the theaters.
we come for magic.
We come for magic.
Please,
She went up the
please.
stairs in them red bottoms and sat down on them cheap AMC
Yeah,
seats, and she
that glittery
said,
ass
"'Cause
suit.
when you're here." Yeah, I was like, "Okay, she is giving us cinema, honey.
Okay.
Cinema. She's
She's
giving us cinema."
cinema. She has a je ne sais quoi that
Mhm,
I
mhm.
cannot speak about anybody else. Like, it's just I
Je
live
ne sais
so
quoi, donc je ne sais
o
quit.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yes, yes,
okay,
yes.
like, it just
Very
don't she has a period. Like, I live. So I love me a white drama, and she's so good at playing that. I live. I truly live. And yeah, I just love it. And like and I don't else I was telling my roommate last night, like, I don't really like I'm like, oh yeah, Nicole Kidman. I don't like look for her, but whenever she's in, I'm sad. I'm sad.
same,
I'm
same.
sad.
Yes.
Like, I'm not like, oh, I
Yeah,
must watch Nicole Kidman. I'm just like, I'm sad with her. Like, I
yeah.
live.
So I thought you
And
were talking about sorry, I thought you were talking about white drama as in like white people being in a mess. And I was gonna say I was at a hotel a couple
who
of weeks
doesn't?
ago and there was this white man and this white lady who were arguing. And I was like not trying to like be in it, but I was listening because they was going at it. She had said something to she was like, I'm done. I am so done with this. I am so over it. And I'm ready to go home. And he was like, Barbara, I can't like they were in it. Like they were
Oh,
at the gift shop going off.
I'm
And I was like, ooh, them white
screaming.
people is hot.
I wish I could love white drama like that. When there's white drama, I always somehow get pulled into the white drama. So I'm
No,
gonna
not ice at the
like
cat.
very few white dramas can I actually stay away from. I'm always an innocent bystander until one of the white folks is like, "Could you intervene?" And I'm like, "Oh,
Because I'm black? Is it because I'm black?
I'm just here to watch. I'm just here
Right.
to consume,
Yes, I'm here
but
to
not
consume.
speak. I'm just in the hole." So yikes! But I also would love to hear white men be like, "Barbara, why? Barbara, please."
Barbara, please.
Please. Now my
Yes.
no man Pam inversely is just black folks to Trump. I never have understood why, but I just really can't with y'all now. And there's one in particular who like I just cannot stand. And it's sad because they're like a younger influencer person, and
Mm.
I do not understand their proximity to like their commitment to uphold white supremacy in this way. I don't understand their disillusion to white supremacy as if it actually won't affect them. They believe that racism isn't as real as people say it is because they have not had that experience yet. And I'm like, my guy, you like you play puppets, so right now like you won't see it, and the second like Project 2025 comes to fruition, you will be
You'll be
first.
the first to feel it. You will.
Like, girl, like it makes me so sad. Like, I don't understand.
I don't
And
understand.
understand,
I
bitch.
don't
Don't
understand, bitch.
understand,
I
bitch.
don't. Yeah.
I just
Mhm.
let me know what is here for you? Like, just out of curiosity, what does this provide? What brings you joy about this moment? I don't understand. So
Because they wanna be white. No shade. I'm just saying, like, I think a lot of people think the closer they can get to Trump and the closer that they can get to the right, the closer they can or the further they can get away from being oppressed. And I'm like, like Francesca Ramsey says, what is
I
it, the
never
little
thought
song?
the leopards would eat my
Uh-huh.
face.
They never think the leopards would eat their face. And that's literally what we will what all every person there are black and brown people who have literally seen the right shit on them even in this election and they're still thinking, "Oh, these people will protect me. These people will help me. And I'm like, girl, y'all are going to be they need y'all so y'all can be the first to go over when the ship
It,
starts to sink.
it's so funny because they're the same folks who are like, I'm not a sheep, I'm a lion. I'm like,
Okay,
girl,
just wait.
bye, bitch. You are
Yeah.
you are
Yeah,
on your way to the slaughterhouse, sis. But okay, it
right.
is. It's wild. So yeah, no man Pam to all the folks. And like if someone hears this, like, how dare you, Jordan, be this word? Like I just like listen, I will talk with y'all. I will hold space, I'll hold your hand.
I'm not.
Like, I will do all those things, and I'll be like, why?
I'm
Why?
not doing it. I'm not
Why?
doing it because
Like
we've seen it too
just
many
don't
times.
engage. Yeah, just don't engage with me about it.
Right.
Like
Right.
I'm sorry you feel some way that I'm mad that I don't fuck with you, but I just don't fuck with you. There's nothing to fuck with. Like
Same.
we're not the same, girl.
Yeah.
We're not the same, and it's sad. So
Oh
Oh,
well.
give him
Yeah.
to those folks right there.
guys, it's really sad. It's really sad, but it's also a little bit funny.
I'm, like you
Okay.
also can't help but laugh because
See.
that's the thing. Like I
Yeah.
sit there and I sit there. I'm like, it's so silly because when they come for you, girl, they gonna snatch you up,
Yeah. You'll be
and
the
then you
first.
gonna be like, oh, I didn't see it coming, and we'll be like, we all saw it
Been
coming,
trying to
girl.
tell you, girl.
Like where were you in '92 when we told you it
Right.
was gonna happen?
Yep.
I just I don't
And they're so
understand.
lucky they're black because we'll take you back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You fucked up, but come on back.
Come,
All right.
John Lemon, great example. John Lemon
We'll make fun of you
fucked up a
for it
few
for the rest of
times.
your life. We'll be like,
Yeah.
man, that time where
Yeah, girl.
Come
You
back.
you was
All
violent.
right.
Remember that time when you was like, "Come on,
Now get
son,
on in here.
yeah,
yeah,
but
come
come
on here,
on in
go
here.
chill
You changed.
yourself."
You got it together,
Like,
girl. Come on down here.
old supremacist ass bitch, you so
Uh-huh.
silly, you so
Yeah.
silly. Oma D ass bitch, you so silly, girl.
You so
Okay,
goofy. Look at
you
you
so.
looking dumb. Oh my God. But
But look
anyways,
how orange you look right now, like
I'm not joking, bitch.
bitch.
I'm screaming. I'm screaming. This by far one of the funnest episodes that we have done in a very long time. So thank you. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And thank you, Amber, for being here. We're going to go ahead and do the wrap up here as we always do. Please send your thoughts, feedback, and email at black.fat.femme@gmail.com. I don't know why we don't get no emails, child. Don't nobody be wanting to talk to us anymore. So that's all
I won't
right.
say shout, but what we do is usually from our girl Viva, who sends us
Yes.
amazing,
Yes.
well thought, like just beautifully
Yes.
thought out and beautifully like heartwarming emails. Just Viva, just know if you hear this girl, we love you so much. Thank you for emailing us.
Yes.
Amazing stuff. And also,
Viva
we
was.
know y'all have questions. Y'all be DMing us personally. Send emails to the pod then. Let
Yeah.
us talk to you. Let us in on business and talk to you on the show. Come on
Yes.
Say
now.
the name again.
So the email is
Yeah.
blackfatfempod@gmail.com. And for those who listen on Apple or for listen on Spotify, you can just click the email link and it'll take you right to
Mm.
the email. It's very easy. And it doesn't even have to be long. You can send you can send a comment, you can send a question, you can send a I like this.
I
You
hate
can
that.
even give us feedback about what you want to hear on the
You
show.
can even be like,
It's
"Hey,
just
Joho, you ugly bitch. I want to
you
disagree with you about
right.
black Trumpers." And I say, "Work.
Mhm.
Let's talk about it, girl."
Right, word. We can have a convo about it. I even like there have been moments where people have jumped in our inbox and said, "John, you said this and it was wrong, and you need to correct it." And we'll come back on the record and we'll
Okay.
correct. It. So come on down. The box is open. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter by using the handle at BlackFatFemPod. Also, you can click the link there. You can also head over to the YouTubes to watch and subscribe to all of our shows for free. Now that's I mean, there are a lot of people who charge to see the actual visuals. So
That's
just
right.
know it is a blessing for y'all. We try to do it. We like to
Okay.
keep the
We are
costs.
not Beyonce. We
Hey,
come
So,
with visuals.
yes,
okay.
yes, we come with visuals. Thank you for saying that because I've been on Giselle's head
It
about
says
that
John
for
from
a
having to
minute.
say it at the end.
Yeah, thank you for saying it because I've been on Giselle's head and I know somebody over at Parkwood is tired of me. But anyway, Amber, where can folks find you?
I'm probably at Amber Ruffin across all social media. If I
Yeah,
was a gambling man, that's what I'd put my money on.
I
I
know
think
that's
I'm right.
right. Yes, you are, and we love to see it. And promote your show. Promote it.
Hey everyone, you should tune in on Saturday nights at 9 Eastern to Have I Got News for You, a new CNN panel show that is very, very silly. CNN doing comedy? You bet. Also, Late Night with Seth Meyers every night of the week.
Mm-hmm.
And, just like life.
Yeah, yeah. I love it. I love to see it. I adore you, the house down boots. But yes, Queen Joho, where can the dolls find you?
As always, you can find me at Joho Daniels across all socials. And if not there, my website at JordanDaniels.com. And if not there, you can find me shaking my ass for tips in the corner of the streets, trying to make money to afford my very expensive birthday party that I'm throwing.
I
Uh,
know.
because
Yes.
the cost keep the budget keeps going up, and I don't understand how or why. And so I'm like, okay, it's about time where I start putting my feet on feet finders. Like it's just
Yeah.
about time where I'm like, OnlyFans about get a little ass shake from me real quick. Just
Lacey Mosley said it best that money is not moneying the way it used to money.
it's not.
And she's
The
Lacey
price has gone
Mosley has
up
been saying
and
it.
the income has not. And I'm
She
like, okay,
she's
well,
like, money is not money the way it used to money. And I'm
I
like, you
mean,
are 300% correct. Because why is it $12.59 for a combo at Jack in the Box? I don't understand. I don't get it. Why is it $10.89 for a fish
tell me
fillet?
Tell me why. Let me why. When I was in LA on a Wednesday, I got a Taco Bell box for $7. Tell
Yeah.
me why when I went to Taco Bell in San Diego on a Saturday, 3 days later, it was $8. Sorry, it
Yeah.
was $10.
Yeah.
I said, how in 3 days in two different cities did you say
Yeah.
$7 for
Uh-huh.
$10?
Yep.
No,
It's the cost, and
no.
that again, money not money. But with that being said, speaking of making some money, what I will say is you can visit me over down to DoctorJonPaul.com, or you can follow me on social medias by using Dr. John Paul all over the social medias. But with that, if you have a couple of coins, I wish I had a cup with some change in it so I could shake it. Come on down on October 12th to the Diversionary Theater down in San Diego. We are having our second annual Black.Fat.Femme experience. Tickets are on sale now for $15. But if you buy my book, you can get a code and it's $10. It is only
Okay.
$10 to come see us. That's for me, that's a
Baby,
steal.
that's a
Because
steal.
who is selling
You get you
$10
got a
tickets
show and
for a
a
live show
podcast.
and
You
drag?
come on.
We
Oh,
have drag performances and
we got
everything,
guests.
child.
We
Lavish.
got a cute venue. You
Yeah,
get drinks and snacks.
drinks. You better
Girl.
come on down. Come on down. Head over to our Instagram where you can find the link, or you can go to diversionary.org to go ahead and pay your tithes to come down and see us. Also, another shameless plug, less than 6% of published authors are Black. The number is even less for Black queer people. Go pre-order my book. The
I know
pre-order
that's right.
means the most for anybody. The link will be in the bio. You can click the link that says buy John's book here. It comes out officially March 25th. Black.Fat.Femme, revealing the power of visibly queer voices in media
Mm.
and how to love yourself. Please, please, please check that out. If you haven't bought it, if you have bought it, thank you for the support. If you haven't, please head over and do that. With that being said, we're going to close out here. Thank you to our producer, Bei Wang, for making this wonderful thing happen and handling all the logistics and getting, Amber here and getting this show going and getting everybody where they need to be headed. Thank you, Bei, for all of that. We love you. And everyone over at iHeartMedia for keeping the show up and running. We'd also like to thank our wonderful visual and our audio editor, Chris Rogers, because without him, there would be no show. This has been another one. Thank you, everybody. Stay Black, fat, femme, and fabulous. And remember, like my mama told me, it ain't what they call you, it's what you answer to. I love us for real. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.